people that, one, respect what you do, you have value for what you do. They are more fun to work with because you're doing things that challenge you more. They don't see you as a commodity. Got to change that business model a little bit. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast, very good episode. The 3 things that you need to know about if you're going to start a practice. They're very simple, but they are incredibly hard to master. I'm not even close to doing it. Listen to these, read, study, get better. With the closing thought of the episode, this is the Ultimate OD podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. Thank you for the likes, the listens, all my Ultimate ODs out there that just tune in every week. Really appreciate it. I love when you guys reach out and communicate with me. It's been really fun. A lot going on in the world at the office. I was talking to my wife how for a little bit there I was out at 2:30 Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday, out at 2:30 on Thursday, and didn't go in on Fridays. Now I'm at the office probably till close or later every day of the week. And I don't know what's happened or what's going on, but there's always a season like craziness, kind of get that figured out, cruise control, and then you're like, all right, it's time to go for more. And I ratchet it up, and I'm at the ratchet it up phase. One of the things that I've really took to heart, and I heard this, I think, from Cody Sanchez, not sure, but or just someone was talking about it, and they said that when you're trying to build something, you'll do like a pitch of a sales pitch of what you're doing, and you can pitch things into existence. And with what I'm trying to do right now with my, I call it RDEC, Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center, so RDEC. I have a vision, a vivid vision. It's almost like starting a new business, but I'm more experienced than I ever have been. I know what I want, and I've had this goal. So when I sit down and hired my last 3 staff members, I've laid down the core values. I've talked to them at length, and I've also let them know where we're going, what I want them to do, what their role is specifically. And I'm talking to a lot of doctors lately because I want to hire another doctor. I honestly want to hire probably like 2, 3 more because we're going to need them, right? My biggest constraint right now is I don't have offices or space to get them, but I would bring there's a couple of people I've been talking to. I would hire in a heartbeat. Love the energy, love the effort, and I'm looking to get more people that want to be on Team Ardet, that want to see the vision and make it happen. So I'm speaking to them, and when I outline the vision for what it's going to be like working here, I'm so passionate about what I talk about. I put it out there, and I am jacked up. I'm hyped up, and the cool thing is, it's starting to happen. And that's how this all started, like from the optometry office itself, where I was at square one, optometry school. And then I talked, before I went to optometry school, I worked at Dow Chemical. And I talked to some of the um, older guys that were there. Great mentors, great people. Greg Hancock and Troy Marino were the 2 guys that really helped me out a lot. And, if I could give a million things, I would, but I'm trying to pay that forward and do that for anyone I come into interact with. But I'm like, we're going to have all these offices. We're going to have it all up and down the lakeshore of West Michigan, and just had the vision, right? I didn't know what I was talking about. Then I actually got into the business, and it's hard to grow. It's a little harder than you think, right? But now I'm to the point where I'm back at that. I figured it out a little bit more, ready to go and make some moves. But you can pitch things, you can talk yourself into this growth, right? This belief, this dream. And you got to start talking about it, and then it happens. because you keep doing it, you can will it into existence, is what I like to think. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And that's where I'm at right now. And I was talking to some of the younger doctors that are coming up, and what I realize is there's a lot you just don't know when you're at that point. And it's not because you can't study about it, you can't read it, but it just doesn't compute until you're in the trenches doing it. Right? And there's three things. So that's what the purpose of this episode is the three things that I can tell you about till I'm blue in the face, but you won't really understand until you're in it. But these three things, if you're listening, if you haven't started a practice, if you're going to start a practice, if you're in a practice, I'll tell you right now, these three things are what you got to focus on to be successful. Really, it's if you get these down, there's a little nuance elsewhere, but you're going to be golden. So the first and foremost thing is staffing. Right? You hear staffing and everyone's complaining about staffing or this and that. But you have to staff with a purpose. You have to staff with intention. And then culture is the biggest driver of success, right? Your culture will dictate who you are as a doctor, who your office is to the people it serves. And those things don't come naturally. When you're in leadership positions in optometry school, you're generally around people that are type A. You're with the best of the best. And I don't think you realize how tremendous your peers are at that point. They're the 1%. They went through high school, top, college, top, and now they're some of the best students that you will find, right? They're motivated. It's not hard to lead that group, right? Be around a bunch of people that are there for a paycheck or don't have strong work ethics or have life going on. That's the thing that I will tell you is like, if your staff member is unreliable, that drives you crazy. Like if their car doesn't start, your car doesn't start. If there's drama in their life, it seeps over and affects every other person in your office. You have staff members that are amazing and you make an exception for them, and then they come back and they want the exception again. And then you have to say no, and you're like, you know what, I might lose this staff member, but the culture, the everything you went to build will start to break down if you start making these exceptions, right? Like staffing is so stinking important. And they're the hands and feet that convey your message. I've went to so many different offices where the person on the phone is atrocious. And I'm like, I will not do business with them again. Or they mess up your schedule or they get you on the appointment wrong. That reflects on how I view the doctor. Like they can be a great doctor, but if I can't get what I need, if I can't communicate with the staff, I'm not going there. You have lived your whole life up to this point as I work hard, I get good grades, I have success. And now you're dependent on a bunch of people that don't necessarily believe in your vision, that don't care as much as you do. I guarantee they don't care as much as you do, right? And you can be really successful. Listen to me 3 months ago. Listen to the podcast. Incredibly successful, but you're on a house of cards because you don't have the right people in the right seats, right? And then you're about to lose the whole team because the wrong people in the wrong seats are contaminating everyone else, right? So then you have to do this game. Do I move them to the right seats or do I get them off the bus? Well, if you get them off the bus, then you have to hire someone new, and you are not guaranteed to find someone that's good. Or it could be a long process. Or you're getting rid of someone who can do everything. You've got so dependent because you built your business and you're like, I'm trusting this person. I'm delegating them. And now they're the only person in the office that can do X, Y, or Z. You don't want to do it. You get rid of them, and now what do? Right? Staffing is so important. I love the EOS books. traction, how to be a great boss, people, there's process. These books, read them. Anything you can on leadership. I've read a couple of things about culture, reading about how coaches lead teams. I've been around coaches leading teams. I try to pick their brains. How do you be a good leader? I look at leadership everywhere I possibly can. Listen to as much as I can about that. I'm always trying to get better as a leader. And that's the way to have good staff is you need good leadership, good processes, good culture, right? I can't emphasize that enough. Like, you hear it and you're like, oh, all right, good. And when you think about your perfect office, we're going to come in, we're going to do this, this, and this. And you have this dream team. And then my first staff, I had 3 people. One was part-time, so 2.5. One showed up, awesome, great. The other, complete opposite. Flaky, not always there, couldn't really learn what to do. And then the part-timer would come and go. Like, oh, what do I do here? How do I get more staff? And then a year and a half in, the awesome person had some life stuff happen. She left. Oh no, I got to hire someone new. And then you're in this process. And I was hiring based on when are you available? Oh, you're available these days? I guess I'll make that work. I had like probably early days, maybe 10 people, but they were all part-time. Like 4 to 5 full-time equivalents if I'm lucky. And it was a chaos. No one could do anything. Right? It was just absolute chaos. And you think you know how to lead people, and then you realize that you're authoritative or you're micromanaging. And you're like, I'm micromanaging because you don't know how to do this. If I allowed you to do it, we'd be bad. So you realize I got to hire better people. But then you're like, I can't pay better people. You think. That's also something to file away. Pay for good people, and you will reap dividends. But I'll tell you this, wage does not determine if they're good or not. People will take as much as they can get from you. So you got to screen them. You got to know how to interview. Right? You got to know what they're going to be doing. The worst thing I did, and have done, still I'm trying not to do, is hire someone and see where we can fit them in. Where are they going to work? Awful. You hire them for a specific role and task. If they can't do it, get them out. But that took me 14 years to figure out. Right? I'm not joking. You find someone that's good, they're like, yeah, they might have a limitation here, but they're really good at this. Then you bring them in and you have no way to grow because they've already hit their ceiling from day one. What can I tell you? Staffing. All right. Number 2, of the big 3, patients are not all created equal. All right. So there's the meme going around that the $500 person is like, okay, I want to meet with you on this. This is a big life decision for us. Please tell me, what happens if it doesn't work out. And I know we agreed to this, but I need it to be shifted. I know we already made the order, but I need this to be adjusted, right? $500. Then you got the person that's doing $5,000. They're like, all right, here's the check. Let me know what's in. Right? Like the higher paying customers really have bigger, more important things to do. Here, take care of this. I trust you. I got to go handle this fire. Where the lower paying customers are just a different quality, different breed, different expectation, right? You want to solve problems for that higher paying customer. If you get trapped in the game of volume, you will always lose. Again, I'm still trying to get off that treadmill, right? It's taken me 14 years to figure that one out, right? I mean, if you listen to the past 3 years, 4 years, I'll give myself 5 years, right? I've realized that you can't be everything to everyone. You have to have that pumpkin plan where the little pumpkins, get them off the vine, let the big pumpkins grow, right? the 80-20%, 80-20 principle. Like 20% of the patients are doing the things that you want. The other 80% are just taking up your time, right? Focus on that 20%. Really easy to say, really hard to do, especially when you start cold. Had not a single patient. I'll take anyone and everyone. And those early years were freaking rough. I'm not going to lie to you. They were demanding, wanted things, would come in and try to buy just one contact at a time. It was frustrating. I've got to a higher end clientele, and you're going to lose patients. Patients aren't going to see the value in what you're doing. They think you have a commodity. We do to an extent, right? The contacts we sell are the same as the contacts they get elsewhere. Glasses, same frames. Yes, we use better lenses, but do they know that? Do they care? Are you conveying that message? Right? When you're in a volume game, you will always lose. You're going to hear that and you're going to be like, all right, I'm not going to be in the volume game. And then you have no one on the schedule, no patience, and no money. You're going to play the volume game. Just give me some patients in the chair. I'll make them happy. Right? You have to hit a certain point of comfort financially before you can start pruning the tree. But I'll tell you this right now. Have a goal in mind. Have an avatar. Solve bigger problems for higher paying customers. They're people that, one, respect what you do. You have value for what you do. They are more fun to work with because you're doing things that challenge you more. They don't see you as a commodity. Got to change that business model a little bit. I am working really stinking hard to do that. Now, reading a book right now, 10x is easier than 2x. And one of the lessons I've taken away so far is if you just want to get 10% better, you just kind of, take your horse and buggy and you make it a little bit more efficient tire, a little more aerodynamic. You do little things. But if, say, you have a $100,000 business and you're like, by the end of the year, I want $1 million business. Well, I'm not going to just tweak the tires here. I'm going to have to do some really big things. How would that be physically possible? I need this many patients that pay this amount, right? Like, because volume was, I can't possibly see this many patients to get that volume, right? You need to think big. Well, then work backwards. Like, okay, if you do that, how do you make that your business? And I'm literally trying to do that right now with the art deck, which I talked about at the beginning. Like, hey, this is how I want to practice. This is the world I want to live in. This is what I think the future is for my office. I'm creating that office. One of the things I have to do is down schedule. That's also hard to do, right? I've always been like, you see this many patients, I'm going to get this much, and I know what's in the account. But to do that higher end stuff, to have the time to have them see the value of what I do, I need time. Really hard to do because I've been successful doing it the other way. But that's me just trying to have a 10% growth year over year. Just, put more air in the tires, a little more aerodynamic. I need a whole new engine, car, rebuild this whole thing. Go from horse and buggy to a, Ferrari. Big changes, man. Right? And it comes down to the patients that you serve and knowing what you want to deliver. Which leads me to my third thing. So, staffing, not what you think it is. Not every patient is created equal. Not every patient is going to walk in and be like, you're an optometrist, you're the best. You're no different than the guy down the street. I'm not paying for that. I don't do this. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the office. I've sent people home. Like, hey, no, I get it. Valuable, but this is our standard of care. We can give you referrals to other people if that's what you want to do. I have a handful of those people that have went somewhere else and come back. Maybe they see the value now. No hard feelings. I'll serve anyone. Just know that I have a certain level that we're going to operate at. And I want that to be the thing. I talked to some of my colleagues, very successful, and they have an answer. They have a item for every person that walks through that door. That's not me. I like to be the obsessed, crazy person that has this laser focused goal and going to make it happen. That's more fun for me. That's my passion. right? Other people can operate different ways, but that's how I like to practice. I want people around me that do the same thing. Because I've thought about that too. Is like, hey, when I'm bringing in a new associate, can they go and do things that I don't want to do? Yeah, that'd be great. Take away, give me some added time, but I like iron sharpening iron. I like people that are just as crazy as I am, right? So there we have it. We have two things: staffing, patience. Here's the third and final thing. Like I said, you do these three things, and I think you don't have much to work on. There's just a little bit of adjustment, to have a great practice, and it's a different flavor for every person. But the third pillar is uh, focus and strategy. All right, talking to anyone that wants to start a business, anyone that's in business, what do we all have? A million ideas. I think it's funny. You talk to any like early entrepreneur, and they have like 50 domain names for businesses that they're gonna start. Oh, that's a great. I'm gonna grab that domain, get it. I got it right. Million ideas. You have we can do this. We can do this. Squirrel. Right? Use easily distracting to have all these ideas. I asked the person I was talking to this week, what's the definition of strategy? And it was great answer, good answer, but it was long. I said, let me simplify it. And this is not original. This is from, I think, Hermosi. I don't know, someone that listened to that business. It's knowing what to say no to, right? Strategy is knowing what not to do. Like, I could go chase this shiny object, or I could chase this one. But if you chase both, you're not going to do it, right? Or you're going to get here, it's going to get hard, and then you go chase this next one, and this next one, and this next one. Strategy is knowing what you're not going to do and what you're going to focus your energy and effort on. You only have so much time, so much focus, so many things that you can actually do well, right? That's the other thing. You bring in other people, they all have ideas. Unless they're helping make the dinner, they're just looking at the grocery store telling you what to buy. Not that it's wrong. 9 out of 10 times, what they're saying is 100% true. But you have to have that focus to know what you're going to put your energy and effort into. And that takes a very secure, established, confident person to do. Because it's easy to doubt yourself. It's easy to see the shiny object. Know what happens to that person, though? They have an IPL in the corner that they've never used. They have the latest OCT that the rep at the thing said, this is going to pay for itself in a year, that they're not using. Right? Oh, I don't see that many patients. Well, everyone has the answer. Everyone has the system. Like talk to a rep about radio frequency. Oh, $3,000 treatments. This is going to be easy to sell. Pay for it in 6 months. Yep, sure it will. Just got to get those $3,000 treatments, right? Really easy to say. Everyone's selling you. What are you saying no to? And that in itself is an issue. That when you start your practice, you have so many decisions and you're going to make a ton of wrong ones. Like I said, if you ask me, I didn't think I made too many mistakes with the current office. However, right now I could use another dry eye treatment room. In that kids' room, don't know if that really fits into the vision. Right? It's really good in theory. I might change that. I might remodel a room. I don't know. Things are always changing. You're never going to be perfect. Can you adapt? Can you pivot? Can you make it happen? But I'll tell you this right now. You learn how to lead a team, understand staffing, know the patient you're going to serve, and give them everything they could possibly want that aligns with your passion and vision. And then know your strategy. Know what to say no to and what to put your time, effort, and energy into. And you're going to have an amazing practice. But I'll tell you this right now. You listening to this, if you're not in the fight, If you're not in there yet, it's really easy to hear. It's incredibly hard to do. It's a daily effort. I think, what is it, the chief CRO, chief reminding officer? You just have to keep pounding the drum of what you're doing on a daily basis to keep your staff motivated and going. Like, maybe you have different staffs, whatnot. If you're in the heart of it, you know. I guarantee any office manager, practice owner, anyone that's in the thick of it knows that these three things come up on a daily basis. And we lose more than we win, right? Where did my day go? Where did I say yes to these things? Why did I not just say no and focus on the thing? Because you got to get through the day. Did I do what's best for the office long term, or did I say yes to the patient that was in my chair and ready to buy? Hard to say no to money. Hard to say no to people that you can serve and make happy. Is the staff winning, or are you winning? Are you willing to get the right people on the bus, and that means getting the wrong people off? Or you're like, hey, we'll just cross this bridge, or it's too much effort. There's not anything out there. I have to pay too much. I'll just stick with what I have. You tell me. I want to hear it in the comments. What do you think about these three things? If you're in practice, if you're going to start practice, how do you think you're going to handle them? Read, study, do as much as you can, but the school of life will make you learn these things. That's what I have. We'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We're to the closing thought of the episode, and this is a good one in my mind. So the title reads, this is from Dave Klein, and the title reads, you can have anything you want, not everything. High performers understand sacrifice isn't giving up what you want, it's giving up what you want immediately for what you need to achieve eventually. They sacrifice good for great, busy for productive, popular for purposeful. They radically commit. I went long this episode, but chew on that. That's strategy in itself. Right? You got to focus on what needs to be done to get you where you want to go. Keys to that. Knowing where you want to go. Number one. I am a broken record, and I will keep saying this because it's been the best thing I've ever done in my business, in my life, is what is your vision? What do you want your life to look like? Where do you want to go? How do you want to practice? Do the things it takes to make that happen now. That's what I have for you, Dr. Lily